Yeah.
Wow, this is such a well-scripted episode, guys.
First things first.
Well, we know what we're talking about.
Let's
we
be
just didn't know
professional.
what order.
We were going to talk about movie trailers.
I think we're going to
music
talk about
albums.
music first.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
when I was 18.
All right, so you guys do that, and I'm just going to hang out right here.
Hi, Nick.
Did you not listen to the new Chon album, Nick? Come
No.
on.
Yeah,
what's
seriously,
wrong
did
with
you not listen to the new... Anyway, so this week, Sailor, do you want to head this up? Because you were the one that told us all about it.
Sure. 2 days ago, I honestly, I knew when they were both coming out, but I didn't put together.
It didn't register.
I didn't register exactly that they're the same day. I would just forget. But Royal Blood and Chon both put out new albums, which are two of my favorite bands. Who all listened to the album?
I listened to both.
I listened to a little bit of Chon's. It was weird, but I liked it.
You didn't listen to the Royal Blood album?
No.
Why?
I really like the new Chon album. I don't like it quite as much as their first album.
It was good.
Do you not listen to music?
Nope.
What's your problem, Chase?
I'm so disappointed.
Anyways, we'll talk about Chon's album for a little bit first. I don't know what you guys thought of it. I like it.
I liked it.
Like I said,
I like
This
I
is
like
the
the
one
features.
Yeah, this is
on it.
that's cool.
Like
yes.
I like that it was a
It's very eclectic.
well, instead of like Polyphia's one album where they featured like a guitar solo every album, they featured like electronic artists.
Yeah.
And just had their like, complex guitar parts with electronic music and like rap and stuff with it, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. Well, and this is the album that they started using pedal boards, correct?
Yeah.
Or pedals in general.
Yeah, and you can hear that. They
Well,
use a
and
lot
that's
of
what I'm saying.
Earthquaker pedals.
Before they didn't really use
No,
pedals or
they
anything.
didn't use any pedals. They
okay.
just used their amp.
I definitely noticed it, but it wasn't like bad at all
yeah,
in any way.
Well, it didn't really change their tone. Honestly,
No.
their tone was pretty
There
similar.
was just some interesting little bits thrown in
There was
there.
a lot of like flanger and like modulation effects that they added, which are pretty cool. I'm pretty sure too they used Ableton to record all of this stuff this time, which is a lot more about like electronic music and things like that.
Okay.
Instead of like Pro Tools. So but that's getting a little bit more on the tech side of that.
Yeah, but I say you're losing me there.
Just Ableton's more about like creation and
Gotcha.
like electronic artists use Ableton and
Okay.
people who do like recording use Pro Tools. At least I know they're experimenting with Ableton. I'm not sure exactly what they recorded with. I remember when I did that like Q&A thing with them in New Orleans
Yeah.
that they said something about Ableton. And I can't remember what it was at this point. I think they tracked on Ableton though.
Okay.
And they mastered in something else. They don't handle the mastering, so they didn't know. But I thought it was a good album. I do like the I don't even know how to say the name of this song. Nehu, the one with I don't even know how to say the features names. Masigo and
Do your best.
Lafile. I don't know.
use your vowels.
I don't know how to say these names, but that's like one of my favorite songs of all time right now. So
I liked it, but it was definitely not.
it's a weird direction for like because they're looked at in like they were looked at when they first started as like prog metal.
Yeah.
I mean light prog metal, but prog metal.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, they had some heavier stuff on this album, but they were like definitely more chill about this.
Well, I'm really happy that they're kind of just forging their own path and doing their thing.
Yeah,
now.
they do whatever they want, and
Yeah.
they're super popular in their scene right now. So
Yeah. I did notice though that they were a lot more like poppy and electronic this time around.
yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I haven't really listened to like heavy music like that in a little bit.
Yeah.
At least like technical heavy music. But I enjoyed the album as a whole. So I think that moves us to Royal Blood. There's not a lot to say. There's two
you
albums.
can only say so much
Holy
about
thought.
albums. Royal Blood, I have an issue.
What's your issue?
The reason I liked the first Royal Blood album, their first and only album, was it was just so down and dirty.
Mm-hmm.
It was rock and roll. And with this album, they went a lot more like pop with it, I guess. It kind of reminded me more of along the lines, not not exactly the same thing, but more closer to like Cage the Elephant and Wolf Mother kind of style of rock music.
See, I have the opposite issue on that.
And that's what you were
spectrum.
saying the other day.
I like the first album because it's heavy, but I like this album because it's poppy, and one of the reasons why is because I think it's really cool that two guys can pull off almost. It's still like pretty much just rock and roll.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's interesting that they can pull off a pop rocky sound with a bass and a drum kit.
Yes.
Like that's what's cool to me.
That's true.
And he's still using all the fuzz. And
and that's the thing that I noticed. True, the guitar still holds all that like really gritty fuzz.
Yeah,
it's just the presentation of now.
Some of the music
that being
and stuff.
said, though, I still really enjoyed the album. I still will. I mean, I still have it saved on my Spotify. I'm still gonna listen to it all the time.
Yeah,
but it's just compared from album 1 and 2. I enjoyed album 1 a little bit more because of the fact that it was
some
so much
of the riffs
grittier.
though on this one are way more wide open than they were in the first album.
Yeah.
So like it's like Hook, Line, and Sinker. I had already heard that song before the album released.
Yeah, because that was their single that they released, right?
They released like 3 or 4 before the thing. Because I mean, there's one that plays on the radio. Lights Out plays on the radio a bunch, but Hook, Line, and Sinker was also releasing on a music video. But it was, I don't know, it was a really solid. That's one of my favorite songs by them right now, and the riff for that is like insane. No, I mean, I really do like the pop rocky album. But we didn't even say the name of those 2 albums, did we?
Nope.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
Chon Homie. Homie is the name of the album.
That's pretty perfect.
And Royal Blood, How Did We Get So Dark? So check them out if you want to. They're good. I like them.
Yeah. No, honestly, both of those albums are excellent.
It was a good day for music on Friday.
And both of them went different directions.
Yeah,
Like,
Chon.
not completely different, but just kind of they're evolving
It's
their
just
sound.
weird though, because like the songs I'm gravitating more on the Chon album are like the songs that are less like the sound than they had before, and I loved Chon before. I just think I don't know. Maybe
Well, and that's good that if the further they get away from themselves, the further they still
like
draw
them too,
you in.
yeah.
So that's awesome.
I mean, I'll stick with them. They're good.
By the way, should we mention that we got the Facebook page and everything up now?
Oh yeah, we do have a Facebook page now.
Yeah.
And YouTube. So now you can stream all of our episodes on YouTube instead of SoundCloud, which limits us to the one episode a week pretty much.
Yeah,
'cause we don't have much time.
SoundCloud is nice because of the fact that you can listen in the background while you're doing stuff. But
Yeah.
the fact that it makes you download an app and all that is kind of annoying.
Yeah, on your phone. I mean, it's not bad.
So,
It's about the same as YouTube if you're just listening on like a computer, but most people do not.
Although if
anyways.
you get YouTube Red, you can listen in the background anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, pay for that for like or do the trial on that.
Yeah.
And it's like worth it.
Over and over and over.
And
Or
then,
or you could download the YouTube video and then listen to it as an MP3.
That's true.
you could.
Hey.
If you want to download us.
Yeah, of course.
Totally want to do that. And then just delete us after.
Eventually we'll get big enough to be on the Apple Podcast app, and then
We'll
which we
make
could
it.
probably just apply for. And
Yeah,
do
we'll hit
right now.
We'll hit like 10 listeners.
Better than none.
Hey.
If you're listening to this, thank you so much.
Anyways.
Thanks,
you're,
Mom.
you're one of a few.
All right, so let's get away from music.
Wait.
Let's say that. What
Dance
is
Gavin
that?
Dance.
Oh, the single?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, yeah,
I
they
honestly
did
I
release
honestly
a single.
forgot they released it.
I've been jamming it the past couple
I
days.
listened to
Now,
it
what's
like
it called?
once.
A Summertime Gladness.
That really confused me because they just came out with the with that Pump Goes Pop.
Yeah.
That's
what I like.
What's the word I'm looking for? Cover.
Yeah.
And so I seriously thought, I genuinely thought
There's
I was going to
another,
listen to it.
like-
I thought it was going to be Summertime Sadness, but it was going to be a cover. And then
Yeah.
they just named it Summertime Gladness. And I was really confused when I started listening to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't listened to it that much. I liked it.
I played
but,
it once.
you know,
It was Dance Gavin Dance.
It wasn't as
anything that
good
blew
as
me
the
away.
it wasn't as good as the first single they released. Because they released another standalone single like right after between Acceptance Speech and what's that album? Instant Gratification.
Yeah.
Pussy Vultures. That's the name of the song.
Leave that out.
What?
It's the name of the song.
Bleep.
Goodness gracious.
I'm not bleeping that out. I'm sorry to anyone that was offended. I said the name of that
Name
song.
something that offends you.
That song.
Just not, all right, Nick, I'll bleep it out for you. But now people won't know the name of the song anymore. All right,
It's another word for kitty
sorry.
cats.
They'll have to look it up.
Meow. Meow. Just put meow. That's all you gotta do.
That'll probably be done now.
So anyway,
I don't know. It was pretty cool.
yeah, it's good. It's Dance
liked
Cabinet. It's another good song by them.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really blow me away that much.
What do you got to say about it, Chase?
Yeah. Oh, that's my thing.
There's stuff.
Yeah,
that
really.
like,
You brought it up and now you're on your phone. Really?
Oh, sorry. That was a text message. I don't know. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
it.
really important.
texting during the podcast. All right.
Wow.
All right.
Hang on. How can you expect other people to pay attention to us when you can't even?
I don't expect them to. That's right. No, it was just a good, down and dirty Dance Gavin Dance song. It was everything I wanted it to be.
I wouldn't describe it as down and dirty.
Not necessarily down and dirty.
It was
but
super poppy.
It was.
you
It
know
was
what I
Dance
mean,
Cabinet.
though. It was. It's more off of the new album. I see a lot of more influence from like Mothership versus anything else that they've written. So
Yeah.
they're playing more towards Tillian. You know, if you listen to Tillian's solo stuff, he does
Yeah,
all this
although
poppy.
I really like the heavy stuff they do more than the poppy stuff. In all honesty,
I mean,
like,
it's just preference.
just because mainly because John Mess he can get pretty intense. So, anyways, it was a good song though. I enjoyed it. Now are we done about music? Or done
Yeah, I
with
think we
music?
covered it. Do we want to talk about the challenge that we did this week, or do we want to dive into E3?
Let's.
I feel like the challenge is kind of like something that we usually do at the end
Well,
of the
considering Nick's doing it right now.
We're usually Let's. All right, let's do a challenge now. Let's shake things up a little bit.
So let's tell people what we did this week.
All right, we joined in on
The preteen craze.
The preteen craze, the fad that is sweeping the nation.
Teen pregnancy.
Known at
We all got pregnant.
well, that's no, never mind.
Okay, so moving on from that, we decided to.
We decided to use fidget spinners, and we have them right now.
Nick.
And Logan loves it so much he named his lizard after it.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Logan got a lizard.
Logan is a-
bearded dragon.
yes.
Literally
dragon.
today.
Logan
and
is a
named
proud
him-
new daddy
named
of
him
a bearded
Fidget.
dragon.
Yep.
Happy Father's Day.
Thanks.
So how did you enjoy using your fidget spinner this week, Logan?
Okay.
How often did you use
So
it?
it started on Tuesday when Sailor brought some over because his little brother has some. We didn't pay money on these. I'm really happy I did.
You know who did?
Me.
Nick,
Those
yeah,
guys?
everyone else.
You know who also did?
Okay, we'll
Eric?
get into that. We'll get into that. But so Tuesday it all started off, and we play D&D on Tuesday nights. But when we play D&D, it's over Skype.
So it can be a little distracting.
Yeah,
Sometimes
and that's
it's
the
hard
thing
to
is
pay
when you're
attention
not like
sometimes.
face to face with people and everything, you kind of get distracted. It's hard to pay attention a lot of times when you're online. I've noticed that. That's been been a struggle.
Well, I've been doing Skype D&D for almost a year now.
That's true.
And it's rough.
in my campaign, you're even.
It's not
Skype
as
then.
nice as being.
Oh no,
there.
not at all. So anyway, we decided to give them the ultimate test, and me, Sailor, and Eric, who's not here today, unfortunately. I'm
We
not-
became fidget bros.
Oh goodness. We all decided to try out fidget spinners to see if they could help us pay attention.
Oh,
They didn't.
they did.
No, honestly.
I found myself holding my fidget spinner in one hand, my phone in the other. Like that, it didn't really.
Yeah,
do much.
It really depends on the task I'm doing, if it helps or not.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh well, hang on. Since Nick did ask me, I found myself after using it so much that night. I kid you not. The next day, I actually wanted to use it more. I was actually craving that.
so
That little that I guess what's the word I'm looking for?
addiction.
I just crave that that motion,
Vibration.
that motion, that just that feeling of having something in my hands and using it. But then I went to work and that went away. And that's the thing is after that I didn't really care. I actually didn't pick it up again until Wednesday night. I played with I say play with it because it's pretty much just an adult toy.
Adult.
Well, no,
That's what it's turned into.
It's not an adult toy. it's a toy for adults. There we go.
I mean, you do crave the vibration, so.
I mean, preteens are using it though.
Which makes it not an
Like-
adult toy.
Like it's just a toy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, my cousin had one. He sits there and he pulls out the little cube and he starts messing with it. And I just looked at him.
The fidget cube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He looked at me and that disappointment hit his eyes when he saw me look at him. I was like, "Are you serious right now?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Are you actually using it because it makes you
I
focus?"
haven't actually seen one of the fidget cubes.
They're interesting. It's
just got like
it's
buttons
like,
and stuff all
what
over.
you-
Those look way more interesting to me.
It's what you
Yeah.
have in your hand, but on steroids. It's so many
Yeah.
more clickety clacks and
And you put it on your keychain.
Now here's the thing. You said your cousin?
yes, my cousin.
Does your cousin have any disorders like ADHD or
No,
autism
my
or
cousin
anything?
is like a straight A student. Is in the college program for high school
You saying,
now.
So
people with
why does he
ADHD
have a
can't,
fidget cube?
Okay, calm down there.
So why does he have a fidget cube?
He said his stepdad bought him one, and that was it.
Why do you have a fidget spinner, Logan?
Because
'Cause I gave him
because
one.
we're literally trying it out for this podcast.
I
You know
mean-
what? You're probably gonna keep using.
I don't want to talk about it. So, literally, my job is to talk about it right now. So anyway, Friday night, when I ran the D&D session, I did notice myself using it while I was running.
I bought mine Thursday night or Wednesday night or Thursday
Yeah,
night.
Chase, how did you go with your fidget spinner?
I bought mine Wednesday or Thursday, and I was super pissed off that I had to buy it because I didn't want to spend $10 on a spin.
By the way, hang on. I want to mention that 3 out of the 4 of us are using fidget spinners right
I honestly
now.
don't know
Taylor
where
just
mine's
dropped
at.
his.
I lost mine in Logan's house. It's somewhere in here.
Way to go.
I have no idea.
Probably on the
I
D&D
actually think
table.
it's over by the coffee maker, I think.
You want me to
anyways,
get it for you?
Yeah. that'd
Do you
be
want a
awesome.
fidget?
Yes, please.
Fidget bros.
I purchased mine. I was pretty pissed off because I didn't want to spend $10 on it because there's $10 I could spend on other things. I started using it and I was like, all right, this is okay. But Friday night during D&D, I tried my hardest to stay off my phone. But when you're not focused on you or somebody else is doing something, you just start scrolling and you just get entrapped. I caught myself not on my phone because I was playing with my fidget spinner. So it kept me a little more engaged.
We also caught you on your phone.
Okay, I was on my phone a couple times.
Yeah,
but
I didn't notice it helping you at all.
I mean, Logan said something about it, so.
Yeah, Logan lied to you. Just want to make you feel better about
That's
yourself.
fine. I
You
mean,
wanna
people
check the
lie to me all the
D&D room,
time.
Logan?
They tell me I'm a good person and that I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean,
they lie to me a lot.
yeah, I mean, people will say people will seem
Check the
like they're
shower.
really into you, and then they'll be like, "Nah, we just want to be friends."
Check the shower, Logan.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. My experience with fidget spinners.
yes,
You want to
Sailor.
hear mine, Nick?
Yes,
No.
Sailor. I would love to hear your experience with the fidget
It
spinner.
wasn't much. I would watch TV with it sometimes, watch a show I needed to pay attention to or something with it sometimes, or I watched them at E3 conference, spinning it, sit there and spinning it in it. Sometimes would help, but the minute I would stop paying attention to that at all, I would just stare at my fidget spinner and be like, crap, I need to look at this and use this fidget spinner for its intended purpose and not just stare at my fidget spinner. But I mean, really, it didn't help me at all. Honestly. What about you, Nick?
Well,
Do you like it?
as you can guess, it didn't help me either. I mean, it's helping me right now for the first time doing this podcast. So that's something.
Yeah, Chase, go find your fidget spinner.
I give it 3 out of 5 fidgets.
3 out of 5 fidgets. I think at 2.5 is a good number for it. I think it's just a right down the middle.
See,
You guys want to know something kind of funny though?
what?
Nope.
I feel like we need more room. I think we need a 1 out of 10 scale.
Anyways,
Okay.
Chase found a fidget spinner.
funny thing. For one of my classes, we had to. There was a discussion post about what an experience good, what a network good, and what an addictive good is. And he's post the link to one good and say what it is. You know what my link was for?
Fidget
Fidget
spinners.
spinners.
All right,
Yep.
Chase, try not to talk into your glass.
Sorry, there's a microphone here. And I'm like,
Yeah, you should probably use that.
But yeah, no, I used fidget spinners as my example.
Oh my god.
I just-
For what?
Described it as a network good. But now that what you've been saying, I might say it's an addictive good at this point.
It is. It's one of those. I mean, I put it up there with biting your nails.
I mean, if it's in
or-
your hand,
Yeah.
you're gonna spin it.
I put it up there with any Chase, could you not?
He did it.
You don't have to hit.
Hey,
Just in case anybody's really confused, Chase is now hitting the mic with his fidget spinner because that's a good idea.
You know what? You need 2 fidget spinners.
Hey, I'm off my phone now, so
One in each hand.
Oh, wow. Well, your phone doesn't make noise into the mic.
you want to bet?
Fair enough. So. Oh, passive aggressiveness.
So, as we
Hey.
were talking, fidget spinners are great, and everyone should get one for their selves.
costs $8.
Nick, stop lying to people.
Like the
Oh,
least.
let's go back to Eric for a second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All
So,
right, this guy
Okay.
decided that he was going to go with Chase to buy a
okay.
fidget
Well,
spinner.
first off, he bought one before too.
Yes, backstory.
For like
yes,
$8.
that's true.
So he
So
bought.
he had
Let
already
Chase
bought
tell the
one.
story of when he went with Chase to buy a fidget spinner.
So I had to go buy mine again. I was not pleased about purchasing this, and so Eric said, "Hey, I'll buy one if you buy one," and I jumped on that really quick because I was going to make Eric pay for making me pay for one. So we go walking, and there is a fidget spinner stand in Pier Park, which is an outlet mall. There is a stand devoted to fidget spinners. There's probably about 100 on this stand, and they range anywhere from $10 to $25. I paid $10 for mine because I was going to go as cheap as I could. Eric spent probably a good 15 minutes circling this fidget spinner stand, looking and saying, "Ooh, I like that one. Ooh,
I
that
didn't
looks
hear
cool.
about this
Ooh,
part.
I like that." Him and our other friend.
I did not hear about that
Him and our
part.
other friend were actually taking them because they're in a glass case, taking them out of the case, spinning them, trying them out. I just sat on the wall because number one, I was like, I don't want to be associated with these people. Number two, I was bored out of my mind. So Eric ends up spending $20 on a fidget spinner. It was a $25 one, but the guy said, "I'll give it to you for $20 because it was like the last one or something like that, or it was an issue with it or something." But he ended up getting it for $20 instead of $25. So that's the story behind that, and that's just really dumb.
So our friend Eric
Eric,
delved too far into the fad. Eric is an idiot.
I would I would never spend $20
Let
on
me
one
get
of
this
these.
story straight. Eric spent $20 on a second fidget spinner that was
Yes.
broken.
it wasn't broken. I can't remember if the guy said it was like the last one or something. It was supposed to be 25, but Eric somehow got it for
All
20.
right. So, but the funny part of that story is Eric was about to spend $25
Yeah,
instead
so-
of 20.
That's true. He was about to spend top dollar on a fidget spinner.
Yeah, that was the most expensive one there. It was 25.
I will say,
just gotta wait.
it's a lot cooler than our fidget spinners.
No, it's-
Yes,
yeah.
no, and I
And
did
it
spin
spins
it, and
nicer.
it feels way nicer in the hand. But the thing is, like, let's really analyze these for a second.
Ball bearings.
It's a bunch of weighted ends
Yeah.
with a bearing in the middle.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Our other friend spent $20 as well. So I would like to say, in the matter of about 10 minutes, this guy made $50 off of 3 people buying little pieces of plastic and weights.
Well,
And I would like-
Eric's is metal.
It's metal, but
It's
I would
one of
also,
those things I wish I had thought of.
Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. How long have fidget spinners been a thing? Did they blow up like immediately?
Well, here's the thing. I get newsletters from a website called Touch of Modern, and they usually they hop on trends
I could
very
see them-
quickly.
I could
yeah.
see them
Well, and I was
like-
seeing fidget spinners on there, like at least 2 or 3 months before they became like a huge thing.
Yeah, because it's only been like a couple of weeks since it.
Yeah, and now
got
like
big.
now they're just
Maybe not a couple,
ridiculously
maybe not a
huge.
month.
It's been about like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they really, honestly,
I just didn't know where this fad started or why it started.
I really think it started with I think it started with kids with like
Yeah.
mental disorders and everything trying to get through school.
Yeah, and I feel like kind of bad for the people who almost like who these would be useful for, because now it's like
getting ruined.
it's commercialized and now it's kind of getting ruined, and people like
because I
can't-
know that schools are now taking them
like,
away.
Like people, if they need to focus on school with them or something, like
Yeah.
can't sit there and use them.
Because I did read an article from a teacher and everything on Facebook. I mean, so take that with a
Yeah.
grain of salt. But about a kid who she saw was making bad grades, had a hard time with school and everything, and after she got them, I think it was one of the fidget cubes. She didn't do a spinner, but she did a cube. She gave one to this kid, and this kid actually started to really pay attention and bring up their grades and everything. But she said that she had an issue with it because now that all the kids were starting to use these different spinners and cubes and stuff like that, they were getting taken away. And, I mean, should you have to show a doctor's note to use something that genuinely helps you?
Yeah.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can also see where, like, there's other kids in the school that they're using these things, and it's becoming a distraction for them and the kids around them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking about on an adult level, but when you go onto the grade school level, it's kind of a weird thing to talk about.
Yeah. All right. Well,
To be honest, before you
Nick.
go that, I can fidget with my keys just as well as I can with the fidget spinner. Like,
no, I mean honestly too, and I find myself like, because I keep my like keys on like a Caroline clip, and just like I'll spin those to fidget. Because
I do my watch. I take it and I unclip it and I clip
I mean,
it back.
people like will do that. It's just now we have a toy to do it with. So
It's like chewing gum. I mean, I know people that in school they chewed gum because it was a habit or something.
yeah, and
to
then
keep
gum
them to
got
pay
ruined for
attention.
people at most
And then
schools.
Gum got taken out of school. So
So-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bible.
yep, it is the Bible.
What?
No, it's not.
Not really comparable.
Yeah, let's
I was trying to make a joke about the Bible being taken out of schools.
let's just make a weird comparison there.
All it
I'm-
takes is one lady to just take it and just ruin it for the rest of them.
All right. Anyways,
So,
let's get past fidget spinners.
Hashtag
and-
conservative views.
So fidget spinners, out of 1 out of 10 fidget spinners,
5.
5,
I gave it a 6.
6.
I would say 6.
I would say like 6 or 7, just because like it is entertaining, it is fun.
I'm just super neutral on these. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, it is something I find myself continuing to do.
I mean, if there's
I'm
one
not-
in front of me, I will probably pick it up. And
Well,
spin
and
it.
here's the thing: the stigma behind them made me really not want to bother with it. But then once I started doing it, I'm like, I wouldn't do it in public.
Eric would.
Eric.
Apparently, Eric walks around doing it.
That's the second part of the story.
Eric has a case for his, and
That's true. I remember when I said, "Get your fidget spinners out" when we were being goofy the other day, and he like unzipped his case.
he had to like pull it out of it and like.
Yeah, Eric took that fidget spinner that he bought for $20 and proceeded to walk all the way from the south end of Pier Park, which is by the beach, all the way back up to the north end by the Grand, which is probably a good 3 or 4 blocks length.
Yeah.
And he's just got it out in front of him, just spinning it and stuff, and people are just kind of looking at him. And
I'm just imagining Eric's really goofy walk, just like.
Because he walks like Shaggy from
yeah, the Shaggy.
Scooby-Doo.
But-
Anyway, so if you're kind of hesitant on fidget spinners, get one. Just don't let anybody see you use it.
I mean, if it helps you, pay the like $8, or if you really enjoy.
My thing is,
Hey,
kids are
people
just
really
throwing
enjoy
them
these,
around.
too.
Like if you just find one on the ground, snag it.
Yeah.
Like I have a guy at work that his girlfriend brought one home because
It-
somebody left one on the table.
The only
or
thing
something.
is, it is super fatty because I mean, remember I told you guys I joined that Facebook group on the Fidget Spinners Anonymous Facebook group or whatever, just to like get adapted to the culture of spinners,
The culture.
the spin life.
What?
And dude, people take it seriously.
I don't
like
doubt it.
they it's weird. I don't know why it doesn't seem like a big deal to me. Like why would you take that seriously? But you know, people will do what they do. I mean, if it's like us with video games. We
Yeah.
spend our money on video games to sit there and play with them.
And then sit here and have a whole
If this
podcast
is their-
talking about them. So
If this is their collectible. So anyways. Let's move on to
Actually,
yeah. Speaking of,
before we go into video games,
Oh,
I'd like
I was
to.
trying to
well, thank
segue.
you for ruining that segue.
Trying
I'd
to
like to talk
segue
about
2
different
times.
video games into
Oh my
Dave and Buster's.
Oh, that's true. You went to Dave and Buster's today.
Yeah, for Father's Day.
Yeah,
When
tell
was-
us about it.
When was the last time you guys went to Dave and Buster's?
I've
so
never
long ago.
been.
Well, no, literally, I went like last summer. a week or so before I moved down to Orlando. So
That was
almost a year.
Last April, after prom, we all went.
I feel like you went with me. Did you go with me with? Yeah, you were there. I remember we went with. It was some. I may be wrong. Maybe a
So
couple-
Nick, tell us about Dave and Buster's now.
I went, yeah.
Okay, so after they have their memory, collective, a sailor points at Chase and changes his mind if he was there or not.
Chris's going away thing, wasn't it? When he was going to the Cavaliers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, we don't-
now
Okay,
I
we
remember.
got that settled.
Sorry.
Anyway, Dave and Buster's is a pretty cool place where you can go eat food and go play games.
Yeah.
How's that go?
You sit down at a table and then they bring you, or you have menus there or whatever, and you can drink alcohol and
So
stuff.
it's a restaurant.
Yeah. My
It's too
problem
expensive.
about that is it's a little. They don't have like accessible hand washing stations, so you want to go play video games after. You eat and stuff, so
Yeah.
you don't like go play. Oh, I just touched a whole bunch of other people's hands, but you can.
Yeah.
You can go to the restroom. So
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like wet wipes should be a thing.
yeah,
Hand
wet wipes.
sanitizer.
Yep.
I went there and got a Maker's Mark barbecue burger. It's got pulled pork on it. Pretty
Ooh,
good.
Memphis burger. Throwback.
Yeah. But
Hardee's. Let's petition to Hardee's to bring back the Memphis burger.
honestly, we should. But as far as Dave and Buster's games go, it is pretty much at this point all mobile games. Just like mobile games that you have to pay $1 to play each time. And
Wait, so it's not like an arcade any?
no, it is an arcade. Like you still go in there and you get
Okay.
coupons and stuff, which they changed tickets to coupons now, which is a little off-putting for a second.
Yeah.
But they still have like there was a Spider-Man Homecoming game there,
Oh,
and it
nice.
was Temple Run, and
Never mind. I don't like it anymore.
they still have the like skeet ball, and you can
That's all that
do
matters.
basketball
There's still-
hoops.
basketball. I was about to ask that.
Yeah, and then they had a really cool like Galaga, like
What about Mario
shooter.
Kart?
I didn't see Mario Kart there anymore.
What?
All right, never mind. Not ever going back to skate.
Do they have the giant Connect 4?
Yes,
Okay.
I saw that. There was a bunch of cool games there, but also most of them aren't very responsive.
What
Like
about the beer pong game? Do they still have that game?
like Red Cup Challenge.
Yeah,
Yep, that was there. Red Cup Challenge.
beer pong.
But honestly, like a lot of the controls on the games are kind of like really unresponsive and just bad. It kind of you go there and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to an arcade. It's gonna be fun, and then you play these games. It's like, all right, I don't really want to play this because none of them like work that well.
Well, a lot of people are drunk at that point, so they
Yeah.
just go to play games and
Like, I went to play a Fast and Furious racing game with my dad, but he couldn't play it with me because the game like started after I put my card in.
What a bad Father's Day.
Yeah. And then I ended up picking a car that you literally either you turn it like 80% of the way and you're barely turning, and then any more than that you're just running into a wall. And so the controls are awful. Got 8th place. And other than that, we played an Angry Birds game, which you could get 500 tickets for $1.
Nice.
And that's pretty much how we spent our time. There's Rock'em Sock'em Robots too, but
You know what would be a really dope arcade game?
what was that?
Rocket League.
Yes.
That'd be a really dope
Honestly,
game to put in an arcade.
no, do that, but with like a steering wheel and pedals.
They could easily make like a
yeah.
like lesser version, like not like lesser, but like. Well, actually, no. The games are only like 3 minutes for Rocket
No,
League.
the game's super watered. Like it's
super
not.
quick.
Yeah, it's not crazy. You could honestly put somebody in like a driver's seat with like
Yeah.
a steering wheel with like buttons on it and everything for your abilities. Done.
Honestly, and
who
it's
makes
popular enough.
Insomniac make. Is that
No,
who makes?
that's who making Spider-Man.
Who makes Rocket League?
I don't remember.
I have no idea.
It was like their second
I
game,
literally opened
so.
the game last night.
Well, as a lot of the prizes were like thousands of tickets too, so it's not something that you want to go to Dave and Buster's to get the prizes. Like those are definitely something that's secondary to the experience.
Pasonics.
So,
Or
Psionics. Yeah, Psionics. Duh.
Pasonic. What?
We play that game so much.
Yeah,
It's like the best party game of all time.
it is an excellent party game. It's also just fun to play online with your friends. Nick.
It's crossplay.
Oh shoot, yeah, it is.
Except for PS4, because, Sony screwed up that time.
Sony. Anyways, we'll talk about. Well, I guess we can talk about that like
Now.
almost now.
Now.
Right? Meow.
All right, E3 happened.
Woo!
What
Now
did
was the
everyone
thing.
think? Okay, so quick overall grade of E3. Did you guys enjoy E3 this year or not?
One thing I noticed is a lot of E3s have had like not with everybody, but like there's
Yeah.
been like random conferences that will have like complete blunders, like awful moments that are
Yeah.
just really cringy. Everyone did a pretty good job. Like, I mean, no, there was
Yeah.
a couple like cringy moments where like just
Well,
presenters are like, really awkward and stuff.
EA's presenting was not very clean.
But the
But
thing is, there's a
aside from
difference
that-
between awkward presenting
Yeah.
and just awful presenting. And that's the thing is, like, for the most part, everyone was pretty clean. Everything was well scripted and
Yeah.
everything, and it was all presented really well.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job.
I mean, other than
The one guy at EA.
well, I'm thinking about Microsoft, how it's like every game was like meh.
Yeah.
It's like, look at this 4K on this game that isn't
Yeah.
fully developed.
Or
Over
also
and over.
talking to somebody about that, like, why would you even put some of those games in 4K? Because it's just gonna, instead of enhancing the graphics, it's gonna show artistic blunders and artistic faults
Yeah.
in the game and not
Yeah.
really help the game at all. Like, why have Minecraft in?
That's
4K.
true. Well, because the thing about Minecraft is a weird thing, because I think some of the effects are they're just really blocky and everything, but some of the other effects like the mist effects and all that are really well rendered.
Yeah,
so
they're pretty good, but-
Minecraft is a weird thing because it's like they mix modern with old school.
Yeah, but and then what, the one like zombie game they presented, or like
Days Gone or no?
Days
That's
Gone was
Sony.
the Sony one.
State of
was it?
Decay.
State of
Yeah.
Decay, yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyways,
Yeah, that was pretty rough when that one girl was talking and
yeah, but I mean, we talked about
Mouth wasn't
Microsoft
even moving.
last week, so we don't need to talk too much about that. So the ones we didn't talk about, I mean, we can all agree EA, Star Wars, excellent. Microsoft with the Xbox One X, I mean, good system. I don't really want to dish the money out for it,
Nah.
but I mean,
well, here's my thing.
good system.
Here's my thing. I had a week to think about it. I feel like if they try to market the Xbox One X to casual gamers, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. It's going to fall flat on its
Yeah.
face. But if they try to market it to the hardcore gamers that like competitively play like Madden, Call of Duty, all of these competitive games,
Yeah.
that's going to go well because those. And also, let's be honest,
Well-
you have those people that just buy a new console to say they have a new console.
You're gonna have the Xbox fanboys that have a little bit of money to
No,
spend
no,
on that. Buy
and that's
it.
what I'm saying. Is you have the people that they just want to
Yeah.
be like, I got the new console, look at me, and then you also have the people that are all about having the biggest and the best because they need it because they're playing competitively.
Yeah.
For example, I have a guy that I work with that actually plays Madden in competitions where he could win money and everything. Is he like? No, he's not going up to competitions and everything.
Let me play him. I'll beat him.
But he, but he might be that kind of person that actually goes out and buys something like that because you want to have the best if you're competing at a level with everybody else.
Yeah, I mean,
But
that
if they
makes
try to
sense.
market it to the casual gamer, it's not.
I mean,
Gonna
it's yet to be
work.
seen how well it will sell. I mean, 60 FPS is cool. 4K is all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good spec system. It's just too expensive for me at the moment.
Yeah, and
I'm
that
just too poor.
and that's the thing is, I would totally buy one later on when the price drops and I can like sell my Xbox One to get some money to go towards it.
Yeah, no, I could not do it. I'm just ready to buy I'm gonna find an Xbox One for like $150.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so do we want to? I guess we were talking about EA that's happened after last weekend. Do we want to just go by in order? Because I got Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Ready to go.
I mean, Bethesda's conference was here's us writing Skyrim.
Skyrim again.
Well, here's the thing. I was not impressed with Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda's conference was meh.
It was so meh. Now,
Was
here's
that
the thing.
Was that the VR Skyrim, or was that the Skyrim for the Switch?
No. Skyrim appeared at
Skyrim
the
for
conference
Switch.
like 3 different times.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like,
No, and then they
This
also
was
VR.
3. I thought it only appeared 2.
they also had the Skyrim for Switch, but then they also had Skyrim for the the card game they're doing. Return to Skyrim, so
okay.
they're still marketing off of Skyrim, and I feel like there was other points where they kept talking about Skyrim.
they did the VR and then they did the
Because-
Switch.
well,
Well,
no,
they did VR.
Yeah, and
They
they
did Switch, and they did the card game.
And
Yeah.
they did the amiibo.
And they
like,
did the amiibo, and
Yeah.
Nintendo talked about Skyrim at their conference too a little bit. I feel
yeah,
like.
because it's
I
coming
think
to
they
Switch,
did.
That
so
was
it's kind of
a
a big
minute.
deal.
They did. It was like a minute, but I'm just saying like there's a lot of.
I'll be
Skyrim
honest,
still
I
at
did
the
not watch the
conference.
Nintendo one.
It was only 20 minutes.
I also don't care about Nintendo.
They did a really good job actually.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
probably did the best job out of any of
It's
them.
Nintendo.
Of course, they have a little bit of advantage because theirs is not a live conference,
That's true.
but you can still with what they announced though. They announced some good stuff.
Okay. Well, anyway, Bethesda. We have Wolfenstein 2. Does anybody care about that?
No.
Anybody in this room care about that?
I mean,
The game looks good.
I mean, the game does actually. Look
I want
really
to play
good.
the first one.
I do want to
Yeah.
play the first one too, and I downloaded old school Wolfenstein literally last night, and I'm having a heck of a time playing that game. It's really fun, just because it's a fun
See,
game.
the thing is for Wolfenstein, and the same thing with Doom, which is also they announced Doom VR. I'm not a big fan of just the run and gun, room to room, like
Mindless.
yeah. I want a game with a story. But that's me. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I get that there is a market for that. There's a lot of people that enjoy that. But I don't know. I just want a reason for blowing all these people up besides, dude, not too bad.
Well, the Wolfenstein 2 trailer looked like it had more. Because it looks like the first game was popular, so it
that's
looks like they're
true.
trying to go with more of a storyline. Because
That's true.
people are realizing now, and especially like in the past couple of years, developers are realizing people like story modes. Like they don't just like game. Like that's why
Battlefront.
they're seeing all these. They're seeing all these like franchises kind of fall off like the wayside because like, I mean, you have Assassin's Creed, which is pretty much the same story like every game.
Yeah.
And then you have the games like Call of Duty and things like that. That just got to where people are like, no, we need something like new from you guys.
Yeah.
For us to want to keep. So they're actually going back to old stuff to try to like get them going back up. But people like the developers are realizing, which is a good thing, that people like story modes and they like good campaigns and well thought out campaigns.
Yeah.
Because you think about the games that are seen as the best games over the last like decade or so. You have like people are way into Last of Us.
Witcher 3.
Witcher 3,
Yeah. Yeah.
BioShock Infinite. I mean, like games like that have just really good storylines.
Yeah. Absolutely.
There aren't
So-
any like multiplayer games that super stand out. Like you have to get this
Yeah, I mean,
because a lot of people just aren't into that.
yeah, I mean, and that's why EA said it themselves. Our last Battlefront game sucked because there's no campaign mode.
Yeah.
They pretty much said
pretty
that. They
much
didn't
in a
say that
roundabout way.
themselves.
Yeah.
But they understood where their blunder was, so we're gonna make a really cool looking story mode for you guys.
That. Yeah.
I mean,
Bethesda also announced Last of Us 2. Or sorry. What?
way to go.
Evil Within 2.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
anyone put the first Evil Within?
I did not. The trailer
I
for Evil Within looked
tried it.
really good.
I tried. I did. I have it for
Yeah.
Xbox One, and the controls were so clunky. It literally reminded me of like old
Yeah.
school
Well, I mean
Resident Evil games.
I mean, you think back to like the first BioShocks; those were super clunky controls
yeah,
too.
but this is recent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the thing is like
True.
There was really no excuse for it because it literally felt like an old school
well,
Resident Evil game. And here's
it
the
is
thing.
the first game too. They may flesh that out in the second one.
And I'm hoping that they
'Cause
do
that
better.
happens a
'cause,
lot
I
of
mean,
times with games.
The Evil Within. I get that it has a really good story, but it's just like the controls and then like it was the controls that made it a difficult game, and that's something that bothers me because it's like you can still make it a difficult game without hindering me on the controls.
Yeah,
Yeah, did you notice the black bar?
No.
There's a black bar on the game on the top and bottom at all times. Like, you know how Some movies will have
It's like it's like a movie that's put in that like aspect ratio.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played it.
A
so I
lot of
probably didn't pay
people,
attention.
a lot of people were complaining about that on PC because you couldn't remove it. There weren't any
Yeah.
options to get rid of it, so people had to mod the game to actually get rid of it. Also, on PC, the game looked like crap, so
Yeah.
it really did flop on PC.
Huh.
A lot of people didn't like it.
Which that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
that's a big market.
That's a good, I was about to say,
That's
that's
a
a good
big
corner
market.
of the market.
especially for Bethesda.
Yeah.
So, how stoked is everybody at the fact that Nintendo and Bethesda are finally teaming up with Skyrim Switch?
Honestly, I mean,
Not.
I'm gonna get the Switch, so I'm actually kind of excited to have that so I can play.
I get
out
a
and
little. I get a little less. I like Bethesda a little less every time they re-release Skyrim.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I am excited that Nintendo is finally doing
Third-party stuff.
more adult games.
Oh yeah.
And they're going with Skyrim, and also that's the first time Skyrim has ever been
And
on a mobile
they got
platform.
everyone because they can put Link into the game now
It looked bad.
with it looked bad.
Oh, yeah.
It looked bad. But you know the Nintendo fanboys, which is a lot of people,
which is
Yeah.
Nintendo.
which is
players.
Nintendo, anyone who has a Nintendo system, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I can play as Link in Skyrim."
It's literally a mod.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which, I mean, it looks cool to do for like a minute, and like, this is neat, and then like, okay, I'm gonna play as my own character again.
Well, because the thing is, if I want to play as Link, I'm going to play a Zelda game. If I want to play Skyrim, I'm going to play Skyrim.
Yeah,
Unless like the weapon's overpowered as heck, then you'll probably just use it.
Masters.
I mean, if I can't do the spin, I don't really care.
I mean, in Skyrim's combat system, no,
Yeah.
True.
you would just
And-
get motion sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
I'm just excited because, like, for personally for like my job and stuff like that, I have to travel sometimes now, or travel to long distance places. So that means I can take this with me and I can play an RPG on
Yeah.
a system that's a mobile system. Which
Well,
is
that's
actually
true. An
kinda cool.
RPG is going to hold a lot more long-term play value than...
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
that, and I mean, it's like, it's not like I know like mobile systems before, like specifically because I played Call of Duty and Medal of Honor. They did like mobile version games, so they weren't like cool because it wasn't the same thing as on the system. This is the actual system game, which I think is that's gonna be cool.
It's going to be the entire game. Yeah.
So I've never actually beat Skyrim, or very rarely played anyway. So
I mean,
it'll be nice to actually have to do it.
has anyone completed the main story here besides
Yeah.
me? Have you completed the main story with Aldo?
I did the Dragon story, and I did the Stormcloak side of the Civil War.
Imperials.
Screw the Imperials.
I started off as a Stormcloak guy, but I eventually went to the side of the Imperials
Way to go.
Can you
High
do
five,
that?
Nick.
on separate playthroughs.
Oh, okay.
My first playthrough I was a Stormcloak
Gotcha.
because I was like, those guys are trying to kill me, so nah.
So, also we got Doom VR, Fallout 4 VR, and Quake Champions. Does anybody...
No, I don't care.
I don't think anybody in this room really...
When I get VR, I'll care.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
The thing with VR is just, I mean, Sony's VR isn't too expensive, but if you're wanting to play like the Vive or the Oculus, it's like $800 to even just like start.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and if I get one, I'll probably get the Vive,
Yeah, the Vive is the best way to go.
the best one. Yeah.
So,
Dishonored 2. They had a DLC coming out.
For Sony, yeah.
Sony, what?
Or no, I'm sorry. What am I thinking? Bethesda, yeah, Dishonored 2 DLC.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they have
Which
the,
is kind of exciting, even though I didn't play Dishonored 2.
what's
I
it called?
need
Kill
to.
the
Death of the Outsider.
Death of the Outsider. Okay.
Yeah, I do need to play Dishonored 2 because I didn't really
Dishonored 2 is
get
such a good
anything from
game.
that. I
Honestly.
mean, the first one was a great
Well, here's
game.
the thing that I noticed, and I just beat it actually recently. First off, you get to choose between playing Emily or Corvo. Also, you get to choose between using the Outsider powers or not.
Okay.
That's really interesting to me. So it's like, it holds so much replay value. Because the thing is, I did.
Because you can play it multiple times.
Exactly. I did.
It holds at least 4 plays in it if you want to play every
Exactly.
possibility.
Exactly. And that's the thing is,
Then you have like different possibilities of doing.
well,
the
I
missions.
also the first time I ever played it, I did Corvo. Obviously, Disarm 1, you play as Corvo, and I decided to go super stealthy, try not to kill anyone, be smooth.
That turns into
This second time, hang on, on number 2, I played as Corvo, but I decided, you know what? Screw everybody. I'm going to try to kill as many people as I can. Mm-hmm. So it was interesting to be able to change it up, but I could actually go through and play as Corvo and decide, I'm going to try to be selfie or Emily, and I'm going to not use powers and try to kill everybody. Like there's so many different ways to do it. And I think it's really interesting that with the amount of content that you can now put on Blu-ray and everything and in these consoles, that you can actually put that many different ways to play through the game and actually make people want to play that game over and over. But that being said, the storyline was a little short. It didn't feel like it was lacking. It didn't feel like it fulfills the story, but it was kind of short for a video game. But I feel like they also did that because you can play through it so many different ways.
Yeah.
That it's like, here's a kind of shorter storyline because we know you're going to want to run through it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, for a game like that, I don't mind a short storyline.
Exactly.
I mean, that doesn't really bother
And
me.
they also have multiple difficulties. So it's like,
Is there a new game plus kind of thing?
what's that?
Is there a new
New
game
Game
plus
Plus.
kind of thing?
What's that mean?
Means that you
Be like
continue
a-
playing afterwards, like
No, there's not.
You start the storyline over, but as your same character from before.
And you have like the same
I
abilities
don't
and same.
think so. I think it just kind of ends
Okay.
with that character. And then it's just like, if you want to start a new
Make
one.
a new game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
I should
honestly,
play Dishonored 2.
I highly recommend anyone to play Dishonored 2 because there's so many different ways to accomplish things. One of the few games that you can actually complete the entire game without killing someone. I read an article a while ago about different games that you can do that in. One of the other ones, it was like Deus Ex, Mankind Divided.
Yeah.
Yeah. The newest one. Or it's Mankind Divided. That you can play through the entire game without killing somebody.
Yeah, because in Human Revolution or Evolution or something, whichever one that was.
Yeah, it's Human Revolution.
There was a boss fight that you did have to kill people in.
Exactly.
Which I actually did try to go, like, the completely silent, stealthy.
Yeah.
Didn't kill anybody whenever I first played that, but then I got to, like, a couple boss fights in, and I did have to kill them. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, I did do Mankind Divided. I kind of did a mixture of both. But I'm actually currently still playing through... No, sorry. The one for Xbox 360, I believe that is
Human Revolution.
Human Revolution. Anyway, I did a mixture of both on that one, but Mankind Divided, I'm currently playing through that one, and I'm kind of doing a more assault method.
Nice.
Even though that it's one of the few games that you can completely play through, completely stealth. But that being said, some of those levels are super difficult. I can't imagine trying to get through that and how meticulous you'd have to be not killing anybody.
That would be a second playthrough kind of thing to do.
Exactly. Once you've kind of played through it, you kind of know where everybody's going to be at.
Once you know the map and
Yeah.
the layout and patterns.
You have a general idea of everything.
And how not to die.
So,
Ubisoft.
what came after?
Sony. Or
I believe
Did?
Sony kicked off after. Who was it? Bethesda.
I think it was Sony.
Yeah, I believe
Wait,
it was
no.
Sony and then Ubisoft.
No, it was Ubisoft.
Ah,
It was Ubisoft first. They were on the same day. Ubisoft was earlier in the day. I remember I couldn't watch it because I was at work, and then I watched Sony. at
Yeah,
night.
those were the same day. Ubisoft came before Bethesda.
Ubisoft did a great. Honestly,
Ubisoft
they
came
did a
before
really great
Sony.
conference whenever I could understand what they were saying.
Sony.
Okay, well, same thing.
Same thing. No, not actually, Nick.
Ubisoft did okay, in my opinion.
Just
Let
whenever
me
you
get
could
to
understand what they were saying, it was great.
the-
But the problem was they have a lot of studios there in different
Well,
countries.
Very
Yeah, they're
very
spread
thick
out.
accents.
Yes.
Just like looking at the games though, Far Cry 5, we talked about that a few weeks
Oh
ago.
my
Looks really
goodness, that looks so good.
awesome. South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
There was-
I'm gonna play that game.
Yeah, me too. There wasn't much information on that one.
There wasn't, but I'm it looked.
They showed enough of it that makes you want to
I
play
watched
it.
I watched some people like doing playthroughs of it, and they were just like, "Yeah, this game's kind of disgusting." But I'm gonna play it. I saw something where someone from Ubisoft was they were talking about how they were getting like the strip club scenes for that game. They were getting like references to strip clubs for like to like view and like to see how they need to do their game. And they kept saying, "We're still getting references, so everyone please stop sending us references on strip clubs. We don't want them anymore."
See, I feel like you play that game in the same way that you watch the Jackass movies.
Yeah.
Bleep.
This is going to be disgusting. This is going to be awful.
Yeah, but I mean, who all played the first
The
one?
Stick of Truth was good.
I played a little bit of it, not all of it though.
It was a good game.
It starts off like not so bad, but like halfway through the
Slowly
game,
progresses.
like it just like
It
chops
gets-
in half of how bad it is. Like you fall down the hill very quickly.
Nah.
It's a South Park game.
See, I'm going to be honest. I never watched South Park.
That show, you like people say like, "No, I don't really like that show," and then they watch it. It's like, "Oh my gosh, this show is hilarious."
I tried it, though.
Okay, when did you try it? Because the early
I
seasons are
don't know.
weird.
It was a long
Some of the
time
newer
ago.
like references and stuff are spot on,
Are topical.
like funny.
See, I feel like that's a show because when I was a kid and I tried to watch it, I didn't get it. So I feel like it's one of those things that like you have to be an adult to watch it.
Yeah, you
which
do.
makes
You
sense
do.
because it's an adult show.
It's very adult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's kind of good that it doesn't appeal to kids.
Yeah.
but I mean that game looks good.
Can we go back to Far Cry 5?
Sure.
Hang on, I was gonna try to get some of the other games. I mean, what do you have to say about Far Cry?
I mean,
5? Go for it.
I'm super stoked that that's multiplayer.
Yeah.
That is going to be so much fun.
Did you watch the gameplay trailer of
Yes.
people running over other people in tractors?
Yes.
It looks
Okay.
super good.
It literally looks like a more first-person version of GTA 5, or GTA in general. Like,
Yeah, and dude, watching some of those missions
yes.
looked really cool.
And I think, and the thing is also, compared to the other ones, I feel like with this one, they just went full bore with it.
Yeah.
With it being set in America, they're just
I
like,
like
all
the
right,
setting.
Well,
guns are going to be ridiculous.
People,
You're going to be able to run people over with like a freaking
Well, I mean, you see
farming
like
equipment.
you see what games are getting like popular now. It's those ridiculous games that people like because people are far less like turned off by like vulgarity and like offensive like
Yes.
acts now because it's like it's a video game. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
There's a reason that Duke Nukem didn't do well because that
Yeah.
humor was gone.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm really stoked for it.
But yeah, I mean, it looks good. Another game I'm interested to see what they do more with this is Skull and Bones
Yes.
because that's set in Black Flag's world, isn't it?
I don't think it's set in the world, but I think they used.
They said something.
They said we're using one of our like most popular settings
Okay.
to make this game.
I
Which the
think-
only game I can think of is Black Flag.
I wouldn't be mad about that.
Is that the pirate game?
Yes.
Okay, see, I heard about it.
I think they meant that more of a metaphor
Is it
than
good?
like.
Chase, did you watch the
It
Ubisoft?
Yeah, I didn't know what
get a
they-
chance to.
I
I watched.
Where you go,
I
Chase?
watched the Far Cry 5 trailer, but that was
No,
and, like stuff about that.
I didn't know what they meant though about the
I mean, it doesn't really make a difference, honestly.
yeah. I
'cause
mean,
unless you're affecting like anything in the Assassin's Creed universe, it's like
I
Yeah,
don't
I-
think it's set. Okay, here's the thing. I don't think it's directly connected to the Assassin's Creed universe, but I think that they're pretty much using the Assassin's Creed like system that they had set up.
who knows what they meant by that?
Yeah, I think basically it's just pretty much taking the ship combat and everything from that game and employing it in that setting. Here's the thing, though. From what I could see, like boarding ships and everything, because the cool thing was in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, like, you could actually board the ship and then participate in combat on the ship. Whereas this, it looked like when you board the ship, it's just kind of a quick animation and you're done.
yeah.
So, I mean, I'm kind of okay with that. Them sticking with like the ship, like piloting the ship and focusing on that. But I feel like that would get kind of boring after a while, just sailing around constantly.
They didn't really do a good job presenting that game because they showed off the PvP footage. They didn't show any of the single player.
Single player story stuff.
Like they didn't even hint at it. It was in like a developer
they
interview
hinted at
later.
it. They hinted at it about the Kraken thing, the expansion or whatever.
I think that'll be
in
the game, but
yeah,
that's probably not gonna be the final boss or something.
Yeah,
but
they didn't really.
Maybe you can board in like single player. Like
I would hope so. I hope it's not as shallow as just, hey, you're sailing a ship constantly.
That might just be like too time consuming for something you can do in PvP. Because like if you take too long on another player's ship, then you'll just get run over.
That's true.
So, there might be, that kind of combat, but then again, there might not be any like on land.
Yeah, that's my thing.
At all.
If I'm not controlling a character at some point, then I feel like it just doesn't hold that continuous play value.
Yeah.
It just depends on how they go with it. We don't have enough information for me to make a statement on that, really.
Yeah, I didn't see enough gameplay, but I mean, it looks interesting because Black Flag was a great game.
Well, I mean, pirates are cool too.
Yeah.
You're the pirate.
Pirate.
Also, so besides Skull and Bones, we already talked about Assassin's Creed Origins. There was already a lot about that game before Ubisoft's conference.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it doesn't look like they reinvented much.
Man. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Did anyone play Beyond
the trailer
Good and Evil?
looked excellent. I did not play the original.
Did you play Beyond?
No, I didn't.
I didn't know how to feel about the game because I didn't really know it existed.
No, and the thing is, I knew it was a game, but I never actually played it. And the thing is, I feel like as a new, since I never played, I feel like as a new player to that game,
I would not understand.
They
what's
only
going on.
catered to like
the sequel.
Yeah,
the people who played the first one.
They only went off of like, hey, everyone who loved the first one, here's the second one. But for everybody that didn't play the first one,
which is weird because I had never heard of that game. I feel like if it was popular, I would know about it.
Yeah, I had seen it for like download on like Xbox 360 and stuff like that. So
yeah, there's a monkey.
Yeah, there's a monkey and a girl
and a pig
and a pig
and a pig
and boob physics.
And boob physics.
The internet blew up over that.
I didn't see that.
What?
People were very surprised that they had boob physics in the trailer because of where the girl, got the CD from. Whenever she slid over across the table.
I don't recall that at all.
After they made the transaction with the pig monster.
Leave it to video game nerds to pick up on boob physics. Oh my goodness.
Nick's just saying that's what he picked up on immediately.
Yep.
He was looking out for it.
He was way excited.
Anyway, so
yeah,
really not much to say about that. The Crew 2.
Didn't play the Crew 1. I know it's a pretty expansive game.
What's funny is I have the game, but I never played it. I have it downloaded because it was for free download on Xbox Gold, but I never played it. I heard it's pretty good. I think it's cool that they're employing planes and boats this time.
That's pretty cool.
That's neat. I mean, I find it cool that it's like they're focusing on anything with.
So now it's not just a race sim; it's also flight simulator.
Well, here's the thing. I do respect them for the fact that instead of just doing cars and like motorcycles and stuff, they're kind of expanding to like anything with a motor. That's a niche. They're gonna fill it. That's I can respect them for that. But I also didn't play the first one, so
So it's a thing. It exists.
It's a thing that exists. I'm probably not gonna play.
Me either. So how did you guys feel about Mario and Rabbids? Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone feel like the rabbits are just minions?
Yes.
That's what they are.
Seriously?
Yep.
But here's the thing. They came around first before Minions.
They did.
They
Which
did.
is why they're the true good guys.
They're the OG Minions.
I can remember playing that probably in like middle school on like the Wii. Like that was. I remember that was.
I never played any of the Rabbits games.
They
so
were
I never
dumb.
played
They were so
Rabbits.
stupid. They was
Yeah.
such just time-consuming crap.
I mean,
Yeah.
I bet
miss
you my
Rayman.
roommate will get them. Bet you Paige will get them.
I'll
Yeah.
get it.
Paige will get the game.
I'll get it.
You'll get it.
I mean, the game actually did look good.
The game, yeah. Actually, it looked pretty solid as like a strategy game.
It looked like an
single
XCOM,
control.
but
Yeah.
watered down, so it's actually playable.
Yeah. No, yeah.
XCOM is pretty too complex for me.
Yeah, no, and like trying to play games like that sometimes. Like I tried to play like Endless Legend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
overwhelming.
It's so much to do in one turn. Because I was like, I really like Dungeon of the Endless. Like that's a really good game. Let's get like the whole franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Like shoot, oh my gosh, this game is good. It's just so
overwhelming.
much to do.
But yeah, Mario looks good. They have the super like combo stuff.
And it's just Nintendo. Nintendo branching out and doing more stuff with other companies now, which is good because I mean Nintendo has always been good. Now it's going to be better. So I think that's a good sign for them.
They learned their lesson.
Yeah.
They learned several lessons, to be honest.
Yeah, they did. So Sony, I guess. That's enough about Ubisoft.
Well, hang on.
What more about Ubisoft? I think we talked about all the games.
Starlink.
Oh.
Let's attach toys to my controller.
Yeah, true.
That's going to make it way more fun.
I kind of missed
The fidget spinner thing.
I
man.
kind of missed that part of the conference, I guess.
Really? How did you miss it? There was a long portion of it.
I didn't really...
You literally attach spaceships to your controller and like attach different accessories to said spaceship.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just...
It looks so gimmicky.
Like you're gonna throw that off your controller. Like
Yeah.
as you're playing.
Like, I don't know. I don't. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have my controller. I want to put a disc into my game or my system, and I want to play it. Don't make me attach stuff. Like, come on.
That's kind of an issue.
I mean, I guess for like a younger audience, maybe.
I mean, they're amiibos, but that's like a one and done like thing. And he had
Yeah.
Skylanders back in the day.
If you wanna have like Hot Wheels, it's kind of like that,
Yeah.
except spaceships.
True.
Except you don't have to like reattach tires and and spoilers and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, don't make me attach stuff to my controller.
Is that it with Ubisoft? We good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sony was next that night.
My goodness.
Sony had some pretty good stuff.
Sony had some excellent stuff. I really liked. They started out with Days Gone.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that
Because-
game looks so good.
I forgot about it
Yeah, no.
from last year.
Yeah, and the gameplay looked excellent. It looks like a grittier version of Last of Us.
Yeah.
And it's going to have multiplayer. It's an open world. I think it's multiplayer too. Is it not multiplayer? Or am I wrong?
I think it is.
I believe so.
I think it might be. I think it's open. I think it's multiplayer, and it's also open world.
Yes.
So it's like you're playing The Last of Us, except not a
Not restricted, yeah.
not a
it's
restricted
not
like storyline
levels.
linear game. So now you can. That game looks really good, and I'm definitely getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sony.
Speaking of Last of Us,
they didn't do any.
Last of Us 2.
They didn't do anything with Last of Us 2.
It was not at the
It
conference.
was not at the conference.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Somebody didn't watch the conference.
Let's think about that. No, I did. Let's think
I was
about
gonna
that.
save that kind of stuff, disappointments of E3, until after we were done.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Well, then we'll
That
get
is
to that.
one disappointing thing. about it.
Yeah. Spoiler to this episode. I'm bummed that wasn't there.
yeah,
I needed Last of Us 2.
but it's okay because we can all be happy that Spider-Man was there.
And
Yes.
they started strong and ended strong.
Mhm.
And other than that, I didn't care that much about Sony's.
Yeah.
I think if
E3.
State of Decay
Well,
looked
hang on,
better, it would have good.
State of Decay wasn't at Sony's.
That wasn't Sony.
That was Microsoft.
That was Microsoft.
Was it really?
Yes.
You sure?
Yep.
Yes.
That
Yep.
was
Absolutely sure.
Wait,
Yes.
yeah, no, sorry, because that was 4K. Just kidding. I'm still thinking Days
In
Gone.
4K.
Days Gone.
4K.
Yeah, Days Gone looked
Well,
really good.
here's the thing. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I mean, that
Yeah.
looks
The
nice.
Uncharted games were good games. I never
Looks like
really
another
played
Uncharted
through
game.
them. They
Yeah.
were good games though. When I
You also
played
have.
them.
I'm stoked for God of War. Here's
Yeah,
the thing.
It's a whole new like kind of.
I didn't play PlayStation 3. I never had one.
Yeah.
So I missed out on some of the God of War games. I'm excited that they're kind of revamping the story, so I
Well-
can kind of hop in.
Yeah, I mean, what looks good is they're revamping the gameplay, but it also looks like a storyline that you could
Well,
play.
they're doing
without-
Norse mythology.
Yeah. It looks like a storyline that you could play. I mean, it's a kind of after the fact Kratos kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's something that you could
Old man
play
Kratos.
and not have to have played the other Gods of War.
And that's what I enjoy is the fact that I'm coming into it not playing the other ones. I knew what they were about and everything, but I mean, I never played them.
I never really played them either. I never really liked the games that much.
I think I played almost all of them. I'm pretty sure this is a prequel. Because he did have a wife and child before, but they died.
I've heard that it's a sequel or it's a continuation because of the fact that like he moved on and kind of like sought the quiet life and then had a son.
So he has another son. I mean, yeah I mean, that could make sense too. I didn't see
And apparently
anything
he
about
also
that.
has like, I feel like I heard something that he has like god powers or something, but you know.
Well, I think what makes me think is a sequel because when I heard them talking, people like them talking about the game, it was like Kratos having to live with like something awful he had done, and now like, so it makes it seem like it's
Spoilers, that could be him killing his wife.
Wah.
Could be.
So God of War looks cool. Also, Shadow of the Colossus remade actually, because this thing is not just a remaster.
Yeah.
It's remade for.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that because they brushed over it kind of quick, and I'm surprised it wasn't as big of a deal for people.
Yeah,
than it was
because
people love that game.
I'm super stoked. Because the thing is, I constantly see like it featured in like the all access videos for like they do video game videos and everything, and they recommend watching those. But they constantly talk about Shadow of the Colossus and everything. I've seen it mentioned in multiple different articles and videos and everything.
Good game.
I want to play that, and I've never gotten the chance to. And I feel the same way about that as I do about the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm ready to finally like get to play through this game in a modern setting that I can actually enjoy. Because I'll be honest, I don't like playing old video games.
Yeah, I
Like-
kind of. Just not.
Because I'm on PC, not on console.
Yeah.
I can deal with it on PC.
And the thing is, because like I grew up watching my brothers play that kind of stuff, but that it doesn't hold any nostalgic value for me. So I feel like it's kind of hard to play those games if you're not feeling nostalgic about it. So I'm really excited to play Shadow of the Colossus and Final Fantasy VII for that example.
Yeah, they didn't really show anything for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I'm
Final
kind of
Fantasy
about that.
VR.
Oh my goodness, the fishing
Fishing.
game.
Oh my gosh.
That was really silly. Okay, hang on.
Why?
But I will say,
Why?
if they release that at like $20, it could do well.
And you have VR.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is because why would you buy it if you didn't? But what I'm saying is,
Buy
if you
VR.
have
VR
VR,
first.
if you have VR
Yeah,
and you're just
I guess.
looking for games, like I could see it selling for like $20. But if they
mean-
put that at anything above that, it's not gonna do well.
If you look on Steam at the VR games,
They're usually
it's a
free.
disaster. I mean, there are some $15
Oh,
ones
yeah,
that
true.
are literally just a room and you do stuff in it.
Yeah.
There's a Rick and Morty one that's a room that you do stuff in.
Yeah. I saw a VR.
But Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I saw a VR version of Second Life. It's being advertised.
No.
It's being advertised on my
Don't say
Facebook.
another word because we're not talking about Second Life again.
No, but it's
that's
not Second Life.
So,
It's not Second Life. It's a
Detroit
different
Become
game.
Human really.
I'm sorry.
I'm just brushing over Second Life. Detroit Become Human was a huge disappointment for me personally, because the original like concept trailer and everything looked really good because you were a detective and like it looked like LA Noire set in the future. And now it's just androids that are.
The thing
upset.
that bothers me is the storyline looks stupid. It looks.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so the reason I'm kind of turned off by it, which the gameplay, it's an interesting concept for a game, because I left a little indifferent about that game because it's one of those games where you make choices and it affects how you do whatever. But the thing that threw me off is it looks like a really bad plot for a movie. It just
How?
looks like a movie. The trailer looked like a movie trailer for an awful movie.
Yeah. It's
That's what kind of threw me off of the game.
androids gain self-awareness and
Yeah.
And like people, I kind of missed the like people buying androids on a market thing. Like I didn't really know what was going on there.
They didn't do a really good job explaining the
I
beginning.
didn't see.
They just did-
There was like a marketplace that like people could buy like the
A thing they broke into.
Was this
The
during
thing
the
they broke
Sony
into.
conference?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is for the trailer, the beginning of the trailer.
Okay,
There's like a
yeah.
marketplace to pull up to.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what was going on in there.
That's part of the story.
Yeah, no, but like I didn't get the concept.
Well, if
of
you're buying
what,
an
of
Android to
in-game.
put in your house, then you're gonna
Yeah, I mean, I
go
didn't.
somewhere to buy
They
it.
didn't explain that they were
they-
androids at first.
They didn't really explain they were
Oh, okay, I
androids,
see,
and they
I
didn't
see.
really like. I don't know. I just feel like they didn't do a good job of like, this is what's going on in the world. It just like
Well, I
was
got
like,
I
there's
I
androids.
gathered it. It was there's androids. They're being catered to people, and the androids are now gaining sentience and realizing that we don't want to just serve
a
people.
specific android is getting sentience and telling the other
True.
androids.
Which and that kind of interests me because of the fact that like, is this android just making these other androids follow him in the same way that humans are making that happen, or is he actually giving them freedom? That's the interesting part.
I mean,
It looked like they were just following his orders.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the thing is, it's like, are you gaining much more freedom by following this guy instead of these people?
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying the only reason I'm thrown off by the game is because it looks like a terrible movie.
And it's gonna have a terrible ending where it turns out he's not actually an android.
Whoa.
Right.
It could- oh.
He's actually a cyborg.
Yeah, that game. I felt kind of indifferent about that game.
Yeah, that's my thing is I didn't feel happy about it, but I also didn't feel. I felt upset just because the original trailer looked so much more interesting because I thought I was going to get to play a detective, and now I'm just an anarchist.
Maybe it just has that much of the ability that you can actually play a detective.
I could be a detective or the anarchist that starts a whole revolution.
No, that was also a thing of the game. You don't have to be an anarchist. You could
Yeah.
do it peacefully.
Yeah, you can do it.
You don't have to
Yeah,
go in
I did
and
see that. I did see that.
break into a store. That was
Yeah.
just how they were doing it.
Yeah, that game looks weird. Did anyone play Horizon Zero Dawn?
I want to. I have not.
Okay.
I plan on getting it soon.
Yeah, I want to play that game actually because like it came out around this time. I just didn't really have money to buy games. I was like, this game actually looks really good. I've heard really good things about it.
Mhm.
But like, and they're making DLC for that too now.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just a standalone expansion.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't want to play it and you just want to get the cheaper version, but
Yeah.
then again, you'll have less content and less context.
It'll probably end up being a Game of the Year version of that game.
Or yeah, you can get probably the combo pack.
Just wait for that and then play it all at once.
Yeah, this was a game that I had decided to get over. I was gonna get this game or Persona 5, and I got Persona 5 instead.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it looks really cool. It looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get it. I'm probably gonna pile up on some games right before I move back for school this year
Yeah.
because I'm gonna have a lot more time on my hands, and I'm just gonna sit in my living room and play video games.
Sounds like the life.
Well, no, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. I mean, it's fun because you're playing video games. I like video games, but
What's next?
we talk about God of War. I want Detroit. I mean, really, the thing about Sony's conference is, I felt like there wasn't a lot of like flair to it. Where like like Microsoft kept presenting about their conference.
Mm-hmm.
Sony, they had one guy come out a couple times, and then they were pretty much, we're going to show you games the entire time. And some of the games didn't look great to me. Like Days Gone looked really good. The new Horizon Zero Dawn thing, it makes me kind of want to get the game a little bit more. The thing I'm most excited for is probably that gameplay of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really good.
That was some good gameplay.
It does look good.
It's got Kingpin in it, which makes me wonder, are there other superheroes? Like, is Daredevil around?
Is
in
Mysterio
this?
back?
Yeah.
I remember him from Spider-Man the video game.
Yeah.
1 or 2 or 3. And you punched him once and then he fell over. He had 3 life scars. That was fun.
Yeah, but like the new Spider-Man looked really good. There's a Miles Morales little like insert in there. So is there going to be Ultimate Spider-Man in the Spider-Man game? I mean,
Maybe.
questions we need answered
And it's going to be completely separate from
from
Spider-Man
from
Homecoming
any other
and
Spider-Man stuff that's going on.
Spider-Man
Well,
comics.
I'm fine with that.
I think it's a good thing.
That's a really good thing.
Because then people
it's not
just
convoluted by all this other.
yeah, people like you will get really mad if it doesn't follow it exactly if they try to do something like that.
Well,
Like the storyline doesn't line up, and
I'm cool with it. Just
now they can just have like Shocker and Green Goblin, and
yeah. I want to know what villains they're gonna have. I want to know how they're gonna do that with some of the.
The only sucky thing about that is the release date.
Yeah, no, the next
Yep.
year.
that's not a sucky thing because then they'll have plenty of time to work on
Yes,
it.
plenty
Yeah.
of time, but
I mean, that's
You
a-
also don't even have a
that's-
PS4 yet, so
okay. You know what, Nick? You just stop talking.
That's a bad thing. Like I was expecting it this year. I'm kind of disappointed, but it's also a good thing because, more time to work on a game makes a better game.
Question:
there's plenty of games coming out.
Insert.
how do you
Yeah.
guys feel about the QTEs
I miss them.
in the Spider-Man game?
I mean, why not?
Okay. I mean, the thing is, it's just a very controversial thing because a lot of people prefer, just straight up combat, whereas games anymore are employing a lot of like, hey, press this button at this time and
Yeah.
press that button at that time. I mean, it does make it a lot more cinematic.
I mean, we also because that was one mission, and we're not entirely sure because it's an open world game. So
Yes.
there's probably gonna be plenty of times where you get to do whatever the heck you want to. So like, as far as combat for like a probably maybe a story mission, I'm fine with being a little streamlined on that.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I can understand that. Yeah.
As long as it's not a kind of quick time event where you screw up once, you have to start over from the beginning. Like some of
Yeah.
the quick time events can be really long. Like we saw that helicopter scene. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you mess up once and miss one web, then do you have to start over from like the beginning of the helicopter chase?
Yeah,
'Cause
and that's my thing is like, if you just screw up one button press, does it make you do it all over again? Or
Yeah.
is there at least like, an
A health
alternate
bar.
way to make it happen?
like if there's a health bar,
Yeah.
if it just takes off your health, like if you start this QR or quick time event and you're already low health, then it's not the game's fault. That's your fault.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, I'm still excited for the game because it just looks really fun.
I'm not gonna let quick time events mess with me because they've been in some of the greatest games of all time, like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everybody remembers the boulder from that. Who's played it?
Yeah, Nick.
That's the best part. The boulder, running away from it.
Yeah. Is it?
That's what made the game as great as it is.
Nice. Good job.
I'm waiting for someone to bring up another game.
Bring up another game.
Yep, I'm just
Well,
stalling for time
I think
right
that's everything on Sony.
Yeah.
I think it's everything on Sony.
As far as I can remember,
Can't see anything
I
else.
don't think there's anything else I was super
I
excited
mean,
about.
we talked about Days Gone. We talked about all these games.
now. It was pretty much Days Gone, God of
Spider-Man.
War,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, a little bit of Detroit, but everybody was more disappointed by that. And Shadow Colossus reveal,
And then
There was-
Horizon Zero Dawn DLC.
yeah, that was pretty much it. There was a lot of stuff. A lot of it was good. I think
Yeah, no,
there's nothing to complain about.
It
honestly.
didn't.
No, yeah.
It just didn't. They didn't pack the same punch in their conference that I feel like they could have. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a like in betweener year for Sony because a lot of their games too are kind of waiting until next year for release dates.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm cool with it. Days Gone is this year though, right? I think it is.
They originally announced it to come out 2017. It's just 2017. There's no release date out. And I saw the developer interview for Days Gone, and I think it's going to be pushed back to 2018, honestly.
Well, you know what? If it gets pushed back, oh well. Still looks like a good game.
They were very adamant about not giving a release date because they didn't want to have to rush to get the game out.
Okay, yeah.
So
Well,
if they're still kind of like
that's
that, it's
fine
probably
with
not
me
coming out this
because
year.
I mean, it looks like they're trying to kind of do a new thing.
Mhm.
So
I mean, I'd always rather somebody push back a game to make a good game
Than
than release a
rush
game
it.
that's unfinished.
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
perfect example is the Assassin's Creed series, where it's just like, oh, we're going to come out with a yearly game that's the exact same game.
yeah. And then
So-
we're gonna take a year off and release the exact same game.
Yep.
So, you know,
Alongside with a spin-off,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is the pirate game.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But so the other developers, I had Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I know you two didn't watch Nintendo's conference.
All right, let's talk
Nick,
about this,
I know
Sailor.
you did.
I did not.
I watched it. It was only 25 minutes.
Hey, Nick.
It was really short.
Hey, Nick. Sailor, tell me about it.
I'll tell you all about
It was
it
really good, actually.
after
Yeah?
this link loads.
Do tell me.
Well, Super Mario Odyssey looks so good.
It looks, yeah, it does look
That
pretty
hat, that hat, taking over the dinosaur with Mario's hat.
good. Yeah, how they introduced the trailer. Like, I thought it was a Monster Hunter game at first, but
yeah,
the
it
T-Rex,
was weird.
the
And then you
T-Rex
saw
was
the-
very.
You saw the hat.
Oh yeah, we did miss Monster Hunter before, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that was on
Hey,
was
Monster
that
Hunter is going to be
PlayStation?
cool.
Yeah, it's coming
Yeah.
out to PS4, Xbox, and PC.
Yeah,
It'll be neat.
It's usually a Nintendo exclusive.
Wowie.
that's right. Yeah, and Monster Hunter does look good. Although I know people get kind of overwhelmed by that game
Yeah,
because it's difficult.
it's not something that I really think fits on a Nintendo console, like gameplay wise.
Yeah,
Theme wise, like style wise, yeah, I'd say so. But control wise, I think it's better off on an actual controller.
Good news.
Hey. So yeah, as far as Nintendo goes, Super Mario Odyssey.
and that actually won Best of Show. Like,
Really?
yeah, IGN gave it Best of Show. So,
Yeah.
um,
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is not something I'm very interested in, honestly.
nah, new Kirby game coming out next year. Yoshi game coming out next year.
Kirby games look good.
People are really excited for Metroid. More Metroid.
2 Metroid games were
Two
announced.
Metroid games.
One's going to be a Metroid Prime, which is the
Yeah.
first-person explore the area kind of stuff.
And then they announced some more Breath of the Wild, some DLC for it. The two, I think it's 2 packs.
that
for
was
it.
already announced.
It was already
but,
announced, but they
They
showed
gave
it
you
off.
information.
They showed it off a little bit.
they told you what the second pack is going to actually be, which
Yeah.
is good. 'Cause,
I mean, really, because their conference was not that long. But Super Mario Odyssey just looks so good.
yeah,
So good his game.
a lot of people agree that Super Mario 64 was one of the best, or the best Mario game,
Yeah.
and Super Mario Sunshine was also one of the best games. They had like the most gameplay of almost any game you can play.
Yeah.
You can literally play them for like actually 300 hours.
Yeah, and it looks like a good game. And then some Pokemon the tournament game.
Yeah, the Pokken Tournament.
Pokken tournament.
It's not adding much more
No,
from
yeah.
the Wii U version.
But what is most exciting about that when they were kind of announcing or when they were talking about that is they also announced that they're in the works for a Pokemon RPG for
Yes.
the Switch.
It's going to be a core Pokemon RPG, like, all the
Like,
main series, like Red and Blue and Gold and Silver.
so play Pokemon on the Switch.
It's going to be fantastic, and that is a very good decision that they're making it.
That's a good time to get a Switch.
The only complaints anybody's having about it is now they're going to have to buy a Switch. That's the only
Still
complaint
though,
about
dude.
it.
It's
Yeah.
worth it.
I mean, wait a little bit. The price will go down. Like, the Switch is still a really new system.
Yeah, they don't have enough of them.
Yeah,
I've been looking on Craigslist to get one, and
they're not even that expensive.
There's one
to
on Craigslist
get.
right now.
they're $300. I mean, I've messaged a couple people. They haven't responded. But still,
Switch is good. I would just wait a little bit until they come back and you can like get a new one.
yeah. And something good for Switch is Rocket League. Because
That's gonna be really good on the Switch.
Switch is going to become like the party console.
Yeah, well, because
Like-
you already have
already have Mario Kart.
You have Arms as another. Looks like a fun party game.
I would be surprised if Smash Bros. Doesn't get ported over at some point.
It will eventually
It
get
will.
there.
Yeah.
Eventually. See how long we have to wait.
I mean,
on
they're
that.
probably working on like more DLC characters because they do add additional content for every other game that has been
Yeah,
ported over to Switch so far.
yeah.
But the
but-
Kirby team's currently working on a new Kirby game, so it's the same team.
Yeah. So. Kirby looks fun though, right?
Yeah, Kirby. A lot of the 2D Kirbys have been really gimmicky lately. Like there's the yarn one, and then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like the touchscreen.
Kirby is kind of a gimmicky character.
But there have been like the classic 64 games where it was just you absorb powers, and then there was one where you can combine powers, and those are just fun things that you absorb from your enemies. And now this time it's the gimmick kind of is just multiplayer, which is, not really a gimmick. But in this one you can combine powers, I'm pretty sure, and you can have your friends play those enemies that you capture and devour, which is kind of weird when you think about it.
It is odd.
Just don't think about it.
All of the Nintendo stuff looked really good, though, to me.
Yes.
It looked like fun, and it looks like a good incentive to go buy a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, really, like, it's just good console. I mean, I've enjoyed everything I've done on the Switch.
Yep, it just needs more games, and here you look, more games.
More games, yep.
And all of them are going to be good.
I mean, it takes time to like make new games and things like that.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're really trying to like step up their game for the Wii U, because, I mean, the Wii U wasn't a bad system.
It had like no hype.
But it just no hype, so they're really trying to market themselves now. I mean, it'll be fun.
I like how it always has like at least 2 controllers.
Yes.
Like you can at least always play with somebody.
No,
you can always play
that's
something.
great. And then buying an extra set doesn't cost much. And if you buy another like set of the Joy-Cons, that's 2 more controllers for like buying one. Their controllers are very expensive though. They have like the Pro controller, it's like $80. Yeah.
I mean, at least if you have one from previous generations, then you can still use it.
Yeah. But I don't know, because I know Paige was talking about buying one, and he was like, I'm just gonna buy 2 new Joy-Cons because that's 2 controllers.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I just buy the Pro controller, that's a lot of money to just spend on one controller. That is nice, but
True.
I would rather be able to play with more people. So,
True stuff.
you just lost your fidget spinner, Chase? Way to go. But
It's all good.
I don't know. So let's go real quick, wrap up. What is the top thing, like the thing you're most hyped about
From
from
E3.
E3, and the thing you're most disappointed about
Yeah.
E3?
Yeah.
Go ahead. We'll just start with Logan.
What are you most excited about, and what are you most disappointed about at E3?
Oh man. The thing I'm most excited about is the fact that there's just a lot of really good games coming out, and it's going to get me back into games. This is the first time I've actually ran through, and actually watched most of E3. So I'm kind of excited to get back into gaming a lot, because I mean, I've kind of fallen off for a little while, but I'm kind of actually really stoked about a lot of games on this.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there.
Yeah, and then the thing I'm least excited about is the fact that there's not a new Elder Scrolls game announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really holding out hope for that new something about Elder Scrolls that wasn't Skyrim.
And if I had to pick a disappointment that was actually announced, I would say Detroit Become Human, just because I was really, really excited, because I love the game L.A. Noire. So I was really excited for a sci-fi futuristic version of that, and on a next-gen console, so that there were so many more options. So I'm kind of really not thrilled. Come on now.
That's my bad.
When fidget spinners attack.
All right, Chase, how about you then?
All right, so
You watched a bit of the conference.
no, I watched Microsoft and Sony.
Okay, so
The 2 big ones.
Yeah, the 2 big ones, because there's no time for the other ones. Disappointment was probably the disappointment is I'd heard a lot about the Xbox One Scorpio, it coming out, I'd seen things beforehand, and I was like, all right, cool, this actually looks like it could be something interesting getting. So I was like, oh, I'll just hold out for an Xbox One and see if this would be worth buying. But it just doesn't seem like it's going to be practical for anything personally that I have, or practical enough for, unless you have a 4K TV.
I feel you.
But
not having a monitor that will be able to do that.
Exactly. But even if you do get it, like you were talking about earlier, what's the point? It's going to make some prettier colors, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
we'll say 60 FPS is nice.
No, it's definitely
Very,
awesome.
very nice.
But, as far as the things I'm most excited about, definitely. I mean, I was a big Call of Duty kid, so when they showed
World War
more,
II.
yeah, they showed more of that. I got really excited because it just definitely took me back to
Wow.
like. I know it took me back. It was nostalgic. I mean, I grew up on that, so.
I mean, let's be honest.
yeah,
the
at
old
least
school Call of
yeah.
Duty, where it was like World of
Oh,
War and
it's
stuff like
fun.
that, they were pretty
At
solid.
least it's not,
Exactly.
like whatever the heck the last couple were.
Between that and probably definitely was it Days Gone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Days Gone, that looks really cool. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And that pirate game on Microsoft, what was that?
Uh,
What was it? Like the real
Sea of Thieves.
cartoony. Yes, that. I mean,
that game looked goofy.
it looks goofy, but that's something that I would sit down and play with you guys.
Oh, it seems fun.
That would
Absolutely.
be something that.
Yeah, it
definitely
seems fun. What about you there?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Did I even watch E3? Let's see.
God damn.
I mean, Battlefront and Spider-Man, like those two games. It's just I have to get them.
You are obligated to get them.
Like I might as well pre-order them.
Oh, I'm probably going to get the Ultimate Edition of Battlefront.
I mean, yeah.
Even though they like duped us on the last Battlefront, they did enough to regain my trust.
I mean, I wasn't disappointed in the first Battlefront. I knew it
I mean,
wasn't going to be.
The gameplay was fine, but a lot of people just they hyped it up so much, and then they just played it like, oh, there's no campaign mode, but we knew that before the game came out.
Yeah, like it promised everything and delivered everything it promised.
Yeah, and it was cool, but
I mean,
the new Battlefront 2 looks like old school Battlefront, looks like return to like what Battlefront is.
mhm.
So
I think since they did make Battlefront 1 so recently,
yeah,
like they're still like in the move to do that. Like they'll have the momentum to continue making content for the game.
yeah,
So maybe that might help them get it out sooner. Might help them,
yeah,
all the DLC is going to be free.
yep. Well,
That's-
the initial DLC at
all-
least.
Yeah.
I hope
but-
all the DLC. I was a little. I didn't quite understand what that announcement was. Some people are saying it's all the DLC. Some people are saying it's just the initial DLC.
Research.
But, I mean, that's like in the research I did about it. That's kind of what
okay.
I'm gathering.
Yeah.
Or things I saw about it.
They haven't really made it completely clear.
Completely clear, but
My most disappointing thing, other than the lack of information on the games that we've been waiting ages for, like
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 and
Mm.
Last of Us 2.
I mean, we did a
And-
trailer, but that was not at E3.
I mean, that was an E3 trailer. It just
Yeah,
there wasn't anything else to go with it other
Yeah.
than the trailer. And
Yeah.
There was no release date, I don't think.
nope.
Continue waiting.
Let's see. There was something I wanted to bring up. Oh, paid mods are coming back from Bethesda. Like they really tried to make it seem like it's not going to be paid mods,
It's paid mods.
but like you have to use these credits or chips or whatever,
Yeah,
but you will be able to spend money on it. I think the way they're trying to get out of like calling it paid mods is that like maybe you get like more credits for making mods yourself or something.
Yeah, I'm kind of half and half on that because I do like the idea of making mods that they're regulated and they really fit into the game and like they don't disrupt it and everything and that it works with saves and all that.
yeah,
But the glory of mods is the fact that it's user created stuff for the sake of it being interesting, not something that you have to pay for.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they do have, like, they will go out of their way to make it lore friendly in a lot of the mods and the description of the mods.
And
Like,
that's the other thing is if you just do some research on some of the mods, you can usually figure out if it's going to work with the lore or go against it and
Yeah.
how disruptive it's going to be to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paid
But-
mods is kind of meh.
as long as they don't, like, make Creation Club the exclusive way to get mods on their
Yes.
games.
Yeah,
That's one thing.
fine.
That's what I'm hoping is that there's the mod section and there's also the Creation Club section where you can pick either or.
Yeah, not all mods are going to be paid. Like,
Exactly. And that's the thing is as long as they keep that kind of separate where like if you really want this really neat mod that just like changes up the whole game but also works with it, then
Yeah.
you can go to the Creation Club. But if
Like-
not,
I think the Creation Club's going to be more of like people made a dungeon and they want to share it
Yeah.
and they want a couple bucks for it, which is not a bad thing.
no.
But then
Because let's be honest, if you were somebody creating mods, would you not want to get paid for it?
Well, that wouldn't be the reason to make the mods, because
No.
if you're trying to make mods and make your living off of it, it's
Find a new job.
you might as well just be doing like making apps,
Yes, exactly.
because this is. I mean, honestly, I don't know why they would actually want paid mods in the first place, because that would seem like legal issues.
Yeah.
Like they're doing like the opposite of making a big deal out of it. But honestly, if they do it right this time,
Yeah, we'll see.
The backlash from the first time was terrible, but if they succeed this time in making paid mods work, it could be a good thing for all of us. But it could also just like,
Yeah.
why would I release this mod I've been working on whenever I could just make people pay for it instead?
Sure.
But then,
We'll see what they do.
so Sailor, how was your E3?
Hey, how many fidgets do you give it?
I gave E3 like a 9 out of 10 fidgets.
Yeah.
This E3, I think, was probably like a 6 out of 10. It was not as interesting.
Well, actually, yeah.
I will give you
no,
that. It was kind of lackluster.
It was boring.
I get that.
I give it an 8.
Well, yeah, and well, the thing is about E3 this year is a lot of the stuff I'm excited for is not released until next year.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the stuff like in October, like the only games in October that I actually really want is the South Park game
Yeah.
and shoot, there's another game that was set to release on October and I cannot remember the name of it right now.
Oh boy.
Is it A Way Out? Is that coming out this year?
I can't remember.
No idea.
I don't know.
Days
There
Gone
was
was
a
supposed to come
lot
out this
of
year,
games.
but
Yeah, Days Gone. If it comes out this year, I would be excited for it.
There was with that many games announced.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for Days Gone now. Actually, after seeing some of the gameplay, and very excited for Spider-Man, obviously.
yeah.
So I think there's some good Sony exclusive, which I'm really happy about.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what is my biggest disappointment? Is E3. Shoot. I mean, I'm bummed about no Last of Us 2
Yeah.
and I'm bummed Skyrim's getting released again. I mean, I guess I'm not bummed. I'm just kind of like, why?
They need to do that so they get the feel on all the new consoles, so they can most efficiently build their products.
I guess that makes sense.
It's just
I am just so...
they did their best to make it like, all right, here's a minute of us playing Skyrim on this new console,
True.
and then they moved
True.
on. Here's a new
You're right.
feature. I mean, they understand what we're going through here. Like, it's Skyrim.
Yeah.
People enjoy Skyrim. Like,
I mean, I enjoy Skyrim, too. I just don't want to buy the game again.
You know,
And you
I was
don't
actually
have
thinking
to.
about something this week. If we actually had money, how fun would it be to like play test and figure out what's the best way to play Skyrim? 360, Xbox One, Switch, or mobile?
VR.
Or VR. VR is a thing as well.
I'm definitely getting the Switch version of it, so we will definitely see about that.
I'm just saying, like, I really want to try it where all of us try different methods and like really take a vote of what the best way to play
I
it
can
is.
guarantee you probably VR is going to be
PC.
the worst.
Yeah.
I want
It just looks just terrible.
I wanna
Skyrim
try-
VR didn't look that great to me.
I want to try Skyrim VR.
I mean, I do, too. I just want to try VR because I really got to
Okay,
try
can I just? Did anybody see how that bow and arrow was?
it.
Yes.
That was
Oh,
really awkward.
It hurt.
It was really funky to watch.
But anyways,
But anyway.
we'll continue to get Skyrim until it no longer
So,
is a thing.
real quick before we end on E3, did you guys hear about Devolver Digital's thing at all?
I watched part of it.
It was absurdist humor. It was an Adult Swim infomercial. Is what
Really?
it was. I mean, it wasn't, literally that, but that's exactly what they were going for. Like,
Yeah.
to a T. They were making, instead of like how Adult Swim's infomercial, it's like the guy selling the broom or the mop or
Okay,
whatever
yeah.
that thing is. Essentially, it's that kind of thing, but they were doing it for an E3 conference. So they made fun of like, all right, now you can we made this new technology where you can actually throw your money into the TV screen to buy something. And
Oh.
like The more you do that, you get content. And then they made those kind of jokes.
That
And then they did that, and then he put his hand in it, and it got chopped off, and then there's blood everywhere.
doesn't sound that funny.
It was actually not that funny. But it was very absurdist humor, and they knew it wasn't that great when they did it, so I think that makes it better.
I mean, it's always good if you're going to release something that's awful, be self-aware about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Like this podcast.
Yeah. I don't see they for some reason Devolver Digital had a conference, and this was their first one, and it was
And
just
they
like
They didn't seem to take it that seriously.
it was like a show.
Huh.
Yeah, and then like they had a guest on an interview thing afterwards. Future was there, the artist, and
Oh, like the rapper Future? Like Panda?
yeah. Yeah, he was on that at the same time, and they just brought in a bunch of games that weren't real games. Like, they made it to play for fun, not to
Okay.
sell or hype up at all. So
okay.
instead of like marketing their own games, they just like
Sounds like a waste of a conference.
it does.
It is.
Like, I enjoy their games. Hotline Miami was good. Enter the Gungeon was one of my favorite games of all time, and like they kind of just wasted their opportunity, which maybe they were doing it ironically. Like, who knows?
That's ballsy. That's ballsy.
Honestly, I mean, kind of respect to just go in there and be like, screw E3.
Yeah.
Oh, you want us to do a conference? Here's your conference.
Honestly, if it was like at the very end of E3, I think it would have
That's
wrapped it up
true.
perfectly.
Yeah, kind of like to joke about like all the conferences that happened up to that point. Just joke about, kind of just like throw that in all their faces.
Yeah. And the fact that it was kind of disappointing because a lot of the like clear cash grab stuff that they usually do, like, you know, season passes, they've actually, all the good conferences have moved on from that part. So most of
Yeah.
the jokes were kind of like, oh, well, you know, they did that, but now they fixed it.
Yeah.
So it could have been better. But, you know, if they actually thought they were doing anything good there, then that would have been a little
Yeah,
bit
I'm
cringy.
gonna go watch that conference.
It
and
actually
see.
sounds hilarious. Now I got part way through it, but I ended up doing something.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I mean,
I
at least
just
I watched more than Chase.
Got busy.
Yeah,
That's the only
no.
one I missed.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't
Chase,
a conference, so.
Mike's over there.
Yeah, it was pre-recorded.
Okay.
I know. So. Anyways, so I think that wraps us up in E3 and this episode. So
That wraps us up on filling
filling
fidget
space,
spinners.
filling fidget spinners.
Filling
Oh,
tanks.
Episode 6.
Filling tanks.
Because your fidget is in a tank.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Fidget's over there in his new tank.
True.
So
Fidget is in a tank.
I wonder how he's doing with his new light off.
Anyways,
Sad.
well.
All right, guys, enjoy.
Thanks for
the rest of
listening.
your week, and see you next time.
Bye.